Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming. Thoughtless casual gaming.
Hello, you're listening to Thoughtless Casual Gaming with Brett and Jace.
No, I'm not.
Now you just thrown me off completely.
We are a Geelong-based gaming podcast who play some games badly and then talk shit about them.
That's it. I've got strong Monty Python feels from that. No, I'm not. Where's that from? I'm trying to remember now. I can picture Life of Brian where...
I was thinking,
you're all individuals. Yes, we are all individuals. I'm not.
or it's the, she's a witch. No, I'm not. She's got a wart.
She turned me into a newt.
Yeah.
Well, I got better. Anyway, we are here to talk Blood Bowl. It's the true love. And we're back to it.
I've tried to explain that to my wife, but she doesn't quite understand.
She will, one day.
She refuses to take her place as mistress beside. Anyway.
We have started up recently, here in Geelong, we've started up the 5th season of Thoughtless Sevens. So, playing Sevens, the way Blood Bowl was supposed to be played, we have a number of people. We have the community here for Sevens especially has been nothing more than special. There's so many people jumping on. We've had some really decent turnouts for leagues, and they keep on getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
It is a level of responsibility we should not be entrusted with.
No. Who put us in charge? I suppose we did, but...
Yeah, I mean, it was not watery tarts distributing scimitars.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I can see where the episode's going.
Quote,
rapidly.
I'm special. Go banana. So this season, we had no less than 26 people sign up, which was the biggest number yet. And just amazing to see, and not only 26 players, but a number of these people playing Blood Bowl for first, second, third time ever, joining a league, jumping on the little crazy bandwagon that we're steam powering ahead somehow.
And it is that piece that people had literally played a demo game, started to vaguely get a concept of what the game was like, and they're like, yeah, no, I'm in. Let's just shut up and take my money. All right, I will do that.
It's an easy thing. We run it so, games every 2 weeks. Try and get your game in. There is a dedicated night where most people show up, but if you can't make that, just get your game in when you can. And, fairly laid back and we try and take pressure off people. It's a game after all. We don't want to be forcing people to play it when they're not ready to play it or whatever. And it's a $5 entry, and that covers the website, which we use to all play for it. So if anyone's interested in looking, the link is up on our webpage. But $5 pays for tour play, and which pretty much does majority of the work for us.
So good. Like, I remember running leagues either through different website options, like earlier versions of websites, and then through Google Sheets, which I have also done. And oh my God, the difference.
Google Sheets is not a reliable way of doing a Blood Bowl league, really.
No, but desperate times and all those things.
I know. I was there. But Tourplay, it does it all apart from when somebody messages me and says, hey, didn't mean to do that. Can you change this?
This player lived. This one didn't score. They actually died instead, and my MVP, didn't play. Like, it's impressive.
I forgot to, roll my regen or whatever it may be. But apart from all of that, tour play does the majority of the work. It leaves the focus on the individual to run their own team, choose the skills that they want. We are running this league with star player points and no drafting up to the big leagues. So, that's what we ran
tried.
last year.
Yeah, I suppose that was the feedback, is we trialled it, noting that we'd run a couple of sevens leagues straight out of the box, basically, and watch as some teams just up and quit, and others really struggled to compete because they just couldn't get reliable skills, or you picked because you're taking random skills all the time as well. You one team would roll something randomly that was amazing, and someone would get something completely and utterly useless. So,
Dauntless on a treatment.
That was still the best.
Yes.
Still the absolute. There was those moments that were the best, but there was also a lot of a vampire team where all the vampires quit. So.
Yep. We've had a bit of that. I've definitely had some leagues where I'd get maybe one reliable skill, semi-reliable skill on a player in the season, and that person would be drafted up the very next game.
Yeah. So look, what this did, we found, and we ran this for a season. We asked for everyone for feedback on what they liked and didn't like and all that jazz. And it really meant that you could actually build a team. It put the roster, the team building and planning piece back into it. So you had some in-between game fun to consider. It meant that teams did level up, and you did get to sort of go, all right, I'm going to play with a couple of skills now, instead of everyone that has a skill beyond their starting one is probably going to leave. So you end up just spreading single random skills on a bunch of linemen. So it made the sort of in-between game and that team building bit a lot more impactful, I think, and a lot more balanced, because it goes back to how it works everywhere else.
Yep.
It's been fun.
Yeah. Look, I think the only real thing we took out of last season, apart from the fact that everybody wanted to do this way again, was pro and leader.
Same old.
Yeah.
Stop relying on crutches in Blood Bowl. That's the moral of the story.
Yes, well, I think, last season I ran vampires, which did not work overly well for me, but by the time it was game 3, I had pro on all 3 vampires, and it made vampires a lot more reliable.
Mm-hmm.
But also, it's not the most fun experience for your opponent when the nega traits on your opponent's team never work, never go in your favor. They're always working out for the opponent. And so the only change we made this season was that pro and leader can be taken, but only if you get them on a random.
Yeah, and I think, look, realistically, everybody was a little bit, there were varied opinions. There's some wanted pro but not leader, some wanted leader and not pro. I think ultimately does what it's supposed to do.
Yeah.
And it keeps sevens where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I think so. So 26 players signed up. We have had 2 people drop out, which is unfortunate, but, life gets in the way. So
disappointingly, I'll allow it.
Disappointingly. Yeah. We're never going to shame people for not being able to play a game with silly pieces on a board. But unfortunately, it did mean that the way that I divided everything up was we have 3 divisions. So we have a division of 8, a division of 8, and a division of 10. And the way our divisions work is that every season, top 2 from a division will go up a division and the bottom 2 will go down. And those 10 in the bottom division were more the new players. So we didn't, don't want to throw them in against experienced people who will, not necessarily give them a bad game, but, will not make the mistakes that they're making. So a bit more of an even playing field. With the 2 dropouts, unfortunately, they were both in different divisions, which makes things a little bit harder and means that we've now got buys. Whatever. It is what it is. So we have 8 in Division 1, which is the top division, which is where you were last season.
Yeah, look, I wanted to give you guys a chance. I thought I would just step down a little bit, play some fun.
That's it. Division 2 has 7 players, which is where you are.
You're welcome.
And Division 3 has 9 players, which is where you will be.
At this rate.
We had quite a mix of teams, actually, too. But there were sort of 2 standouts. We had 4 people taking corn, which basically works out to be 1 in each division and 2 in the bottom division. And same for lizards. So lizardmen and corn were the 2 sought-after ones this season.
Which Corn are one of my, as not one of the Corn players, they are one of my 2 favourite teams. However, I will say, in particularly that lowest division where you have the least amount of experience, that is chaos.
Yes.
Incarnate. Like, that is just properly...
Corn is a tricky one. They're a lot of fun to play, but when things go right, they go really right, and when they go wrong, they go really wrong. So it's an interesting one to play. Lizards, fairly reliable in a lot of ways. That I'm actually playing Lizards this season as well, which I almost chose to something else, but nobody in my division's playing Lizards, and I really wanted to paint up my team finally because they've been sort of half painted for a while. So now I have 3 of my 8 models completely painted. So that's more than I did last time I played them. And hopefully by the end of the season, I'll have 8 completely painted.
That's the aim, right? If you've got a completed team by the end of the season,
yes,
and you roll into a new team next season, and this is progress.
Yeah, it all starts over again. It's all deja vu. Anyway, so thought we'd just give you guys a bit of a rundown of what the league looks like, what our initial thoughts might be, and, maybe if you're in the Geelong area, this might give you a bit of an idea of how we play it, and maybe it's something you want to sign up for next season. Because we do this a lot. We'll run a month between seasons and then we'll just kick right back in again.
Roll into it. And I mean, that the other part of this is, as we've talked about, there's a lot of new people, there's not a new players. And so there is always room for more new players and people who are just keen to taste the game. And there is generally time to organise some of those games and see, do a bit of try before you buy scenario as well. So,
yeah, absolutely. We're all for this game in general, as you may or may not know, having possibly listened to this podcast in the past. So the more Blood Bowl, the better. And the more people we have playing, the more hilarity ensues and fun is had by hopefully all. Anyway, so the first division, we'll just go run through. We've got, first of all, David playing Chaos Dwarves.
First is top. Okay, I'm with you now.
Yep. So David was in Division 2 last season and came second, so he's jumped up. David is a Chaos Dwarf expert, I believe. I know he's played. Yeah, he's played them before. He's played them against me in Mayhem, I think, last year.
Yeah.
So I expect David to do well this season.
Very well. I mean, he was playing in some of the first leagues I ever played in. So he's been doing this for a long time. Chaos Dwarves, again, are one of those ones he falls back onto and knows. I think they are a reliable team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's taken the 2 centaurs, no minotaur, which is the bit that makes them fun, FYI. But they will do exactly what they're supposed to do, and it'll be really interesting to see how they play out.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Then we've got Ant. Now, Ant is playing vampires.
He's a
Ant,
great man.
he is a very good player. Vampires, without the, being able to choose pro, is going to be interesting to see how they go. Because same thing as Corn. Like, if everything goes well, they'll go really, really well. If the dice rolls start getting a bit of bloodlust in there, then things might fall over.
Interesting. I mean, he worked out he could fit 3 vampires and still have a bench on there.
Mm-hmm.
So that is a juicy team to kick off with, and probably the best option you could have. And then you just save up for the extra vamp. So I think it's as good as you could hope for. It's just whether vampires do vampire things.
Yeah, that's the real question.
And whether he remembers they have hypnotic gaze.
Yes. I think, having played them last season, knowing how to do hypnotic gaze, it was something I was still learning by the end of the season. And when I remembered and worked it out properly on occasion, it worked really well. It's one of those skills that, will win you games in the right circumstances. All right, next up we've got James playing goblins.
Past season winner.
Yep.
But taking goblins.
Look, that's a fair thing to do, and if you win a season playing, especially at the top division, it's always good to play something a bit silly the next season.
And it will be interesting. He's still a really good, he's plays more Blood Bowl than most other humans have in their combined. The rest of humanity combined may not have played as much Blood Bowl as James. That's where I'm going with this. So I think again it will come down to whether Stupid Shit does what Stupid Shit's supposed to do. But ultimately, they're goblins in sevens. Good luck.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a tough call because goblins do not have the best track record. But, like you said, James has played a lot. James runs Mayhem. So if anyone can do it, he can. Next up, Josh. Josh, we've talked about before. Josh started playing Blood Bowl a couple of seasons ago with us and has more than held his own.
Yeah, he got a little bit too good.
Yeah, very, very quickly too. Josh is playing Khorne and playing the right Khorne.
I'm hanging out to see how this plays out. I am really keen to see how he goes because it is just that extra consideration of where is everybody in the next block and all that jazz. But he's throwing the spawn in there.
Mm-hmm.
He's a very punchy team. He will throw a lot of blocks. I want to see it play out.
Yeah, definitely. Josh has been in Copenhagen for the last couple of weeks. So Josh and I were due to play round 1 on Tuesday. But unfortunately I couldn't make it. So we will be playing tomorrow night, getting round 1 out of the way. So I will get to taste that Khorne firsthand.
This is exciting. And speaking of teams that will be tasting Khorne.
Yes. Like I said, I am playing Lizardman. I've gone for probably the stock standard team, and I think the same team that all 4 Lizardman players in the season have taken to start off with. So Crocs, 3 Saurus, 3 Skinks.
And it's only because you can only fit 3 Skinks after that build.
Correct.
And the other option is to not run a Crocs, and why would you not? He's one of the best big guys out there, period. And why would you pay extra for Chameleon? There's no reason to do that. So I feel like it is Lizardman 101. That is the list.
Very much so. So we'll see if I can get something better than a diving tackle on a skink who was then drafted the next turn. But we'll wait and see.
There's still a tough league team early on. There's no ball handling skills. There's no hitting skills. So
Yep.
you're just relying on raw stats. So, whew,
It's going to be interesting. I think there's a lot of tough players in Division 1. So I wouldn't be surprised to be joining you in Division 2 next season.
all right, join me.
Well, joining where you were after you dropped down. After me, there's Yolv. Yolv is playing after choosing 4 or 5 different teams. He has ended on Necromantic Horror. Again, a very good player.
And this is a glorious team.
Mm.
Like 2 wolves, the golem, and a ghoul filled with zombies. Like, yeah, the correct answer is always put in 2 werewolves and then make a team.
Yes.
So,
especially in sevens.
It's a different team to what he's used to, so it'll be interesting, but he's a really good player who sees a lot of real good opportunities and won't get caught out by frenzy traps and stuff. So,
yep. Okay. Next up is Jared. Now, Jared won Division 2 last season and was playing Wood Elves and has decided that's not enough agility for me, so he's playing Slan.
So I think he's really going to enjoy his temporary time in the top division. No, it's my other top favorite ever team. And you think from memory, he's taken the team that I suggested he take. Good Life First by him. Yep.
Blitzer, Crocs, Catcher.
Yeah. So he's done all the right things. It's just whether he can work out how the hell pogo stick works.
Yep.
So much fun and so much ability to catch other teams out.
Again, it's one of those teams that, you know, if they work, they really work. And if things go badly, they'll go sliding downhill pretty quickly.
And for a team that's got agility 2+ pieces, they are also a team that you want other rerolls, extra rerolls for normally, because you don't get built-in rerolls for late anywhere. So
no. And rerolls in the sevens, hey? That's not going to happen.
Nah, so I'm curious. I think he'll have a blast, but it's going to be tough for him and opponents. So there should be fun games, if nothing else.
Yep. And lastly, in Division 1, we have Chad. Chad is playing human. Now, Chad came 3rd in Division 2 last season, but I bumped him up to even up the numbers everywhere. Human, very reliable team.
Very reliable. Mr. took a sneaky reroll.
Yes, grabbing the reroll there with humans. I mean, you can afford it with humans, and humans are decent even without the reroll. So, you know, you got pass on the thrower, you've got catch on the catcher, you got block on the blitzers. It's going to be a fairly decent team.
He does everything it needs to do, and he's not a slouch of a player. Again, that entire division, like there's a couple of teams you want to explode themselves, like the Goblins and the Vampires. I'm just hoping that if I was playing them, that they're just going to self-combust. But there is no easy games.
No easy coaches. Everyone's very experienced, have played a decent amount of games and have won a decent amount of games. It's going to be a tough one. And I think, depending on roles, literally this division can go anyone's way.
Which is glorious.
Yes. This is the way it should be. Division 2.
Here we go.
All right, so first up, we've got Dill. Dill is playing Skaven. Now, he is playing, that's the right Skaven. Rat Ogre, 2 Gutter Runners, Thrower, a heap of Clan Rats. That's the way they should be played.
We had a lot of conversations around this team before he landed on it. I reckon he came up with every possible combination of team he could possibly come up with.
He probably did.
It eventually landed on the, like, you're playing rats, you're playing to score, gutter runners do that. Like, just take 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then Phil, and then it was really, do you want a rat ogre or a blitzer? Do you want stupid fun or reliable? And Dylan chose what Dylan should choose. Stupid fun.
Stupid fun is the way to go. Absolutely. You take the rat ogre because the rat ogre is fun.
He's also terrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, look, he is a psychological piece as well. Frenzy, Mighty Blow, Prehensile Tail, it's all good stuff on a rat ogre. Apart from Loner and Animal Savagery.
But sure. But they're rats, they're cheap, it's fine. Yeah, exactly. And I think, equally, Dylan is more and more a really solid player. And I think it really just depends on which night you get him. But he's a real contender with two gutter runners that can just score at will. And he switched on. So,
yeah. Look, he has a lot of fun with Blood Bowl. He plays for the fun, but he can win games very easily if he's trying.
And with gutter runners, sometimes if you're not.
Yeah, exactly. Next up, we have the one and only Gnome team in the league.
This feels like a mistake already.
Now, you've gone and gotten 2 games in very quickly.
Yes.
How are the Gnomes?
It's feeling a little rough right now. I ran 2 games on literally league kickoff night. I lined up my first opponent, and then my second opponent just happened to be there. And we're like, we got time for another game. He's like, do you want to play the league game? We're lined up next round. I'm like, yes, I do. So we just played back-to-backs, and it was an amazing night. It was so much fun, and oh my God, the little guys got their shit kicked out of them.
So you got 2 Treemen, a Fox, Beastmaster, handful of linemen.
That's a team.
That is a good team.
Yes.
If it works.
Yeah, and trees need to not root, and beatbusters need to not die, and things are all possible. Fox can do what Fox can do, right? That he does amazing things. You've still got to throw teammate option. There is stuff there, but fundamentally, a stunty team that wants to fight you is just fucking weird.
Well, you've got 7 people in the division, so you'll be playing 6 games and then get the bye. So we'll wait and see. We'll see how you go.
I'm nervous.
Yeah. It should be interesting. I was very tempted to play Gnomes myself, but I have backed was it Grebo? Which one did I back? It was Grebo.
It was Grebo.
Grebo Gnomes, which I love the look of. And when they get to me, that's probably when I'm going to be jumping on that bandwagon, depending on how you go. If you go really badly, then I'm definitely playing them.
All right. Enjoy that.
I will. Next up, Oz. Oz is playing Wood Elf. He has called them Stickmen. Much to my disgust, he is not using the paddle pop stick Wood Elves that he took to one of our tournaments.
That was the best.
So serious too.
He rocked up with actual wood elves that he'd made out of wood. It was the best. Yeah. But no, he has a different wood elf team. And firstly, I'm very impressed at the commitment of someone who's willing to paint up 2 teams, particularly when those teams are wood elves.
Yes.
Why would you? But they're wood elves, right?
Yes. He's got 2 War Dancers. War Dancers are the MVP of players, really, aren't they?
And then what else do you need?
Heap of linemen. Done.
Fucking nothing. They're still Edge 2+ linemen. Movement 7. Sure, they fold with Stiff Breeze, but who cares? You've already scored 14 times.
Hopefully. That's the aim, anyway. All right, next up, Moose. Moose is once again playing Ogres.
I love his dedication, commitment, and sheer love for this team.
Now, Moose came 3rd in Division 3 last season. So for the sake of numbers and moving people around, because we had so many new players join us this season, I've bumped him up a division. His ogres are always fun to watch because Moose is definitely playing for the fun of the game. His ogres are, look, they're all named after, well, majority of them anyway. I can see one there that's not named after people in the Discord, which is delightful.
I've just worked out that TBN is probably to be named.
Yes. Clean Skin. That sounds like a tour play made up name.
Yeah. He hasn't changed that to TBN yet.
No.
But, I mean,
Sure.
2 ogres and a shit ton of Noblars.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed that the leopard ogre isn't in there. But anyway, I've words
I
about
mean,
that.
he'll be saving up.
Yeah, no, that's true. Yeah, look, Moose's games are always fun to watch, and he's always fun to play. And like I said, he's playing for the fun of it. And if he wins, he's happy. If he loses, he's happy as long as he's had a fun game. So next up, we got Liam. Liam dropping down a division like yourself, playing
Played
Nurgle.
Halflings last season?
He did Halflings. So he went hardcore, hard mode, and is now playing something a lot easier in Nurgle.
I mean,
I love Nurgle.
He is backing up hard mode though. I do agree with his team choice in that it's 2 bloaters, 2 pesticores.
It's a good choice, but I always like the rot spawn.
I love the rot spawn, but it's just, I mean, arguably you can swap it out for a bloater. Like that's your option. And the rotters are so cheap, you can pretty much do whatever the hell you want. Yep. Which is the other thing. But I really think that you need the 2 pesties just for some movement.
Mm-hmm. Pestigores are definitely the scoring threats on a Nurgle team. Everything else is a control piece, so it's going to be interesting to see what he does with that. I need to see this team because I would love to see Liam's Nurgle.
Yes.
Are they all painted up? Do you know?
I assume so, but I know nothing of this. I assume they're painted up from about 20 billion years ago. Still the original meta ones. But equally, I think it's, again, he's the other player here that's played more Blood Bowl than the rest of us combined. But
Liam is a big V winner.
Yes.
So he knows how to play.
He also tends to play really quick teams. I mean, he's played everything, let's be clear, but his preference is for really quick teams. So I'll be curious to see how he feels about the Nurgle after it.
Yep. I mean, I love Nurgle. I hope that Nurgle does well, but that's just me. All right, next up, we have Alice. Now, Alice came second in Division 3 last season, and much to her surprise, has jumped up a division. And for the first time in about 70 years, is not playing Nurgle. She's playing Khorne.
Which... I love the switch. I love the team because she got the Grebo Kitty team and they are gorgeous. And then she dazzled them.
Oh, Alice is a hell of a painter, and those cats, they just look amazing.
It's a glorious team. I think she's done, again, same 2 Bloodsworns and a Gore from memory. With 2 Seekers, the Gore and the Spawn.
Yep.
It's a glorious team. It will do all the things it should. It's just whether she can work out how the hell Frenzy works.
Yep. That's going to be the trick. And it always is the trick with Khorne. It's knowing how to plan ahead for those Frenzy blocks that don't go the way you want them to go.
Also, the team name is maybe my favorite.
Do you know the reference?
No.
No, I don't think an awful lot of people would. So her team is the Crawlers of Her Majesty Princess Donut. There is a book series that Alice is obsessed with called Dungeon Crawler Carl. And he goes through all these dungeons and all these different levels in dungeons, and he is accompanied by his very fat cat, Princess Donut. And so it's, I believe, all of those characters, they're all named after people in the series. So Dungeon Crawler Carl is actually a Bloodseeker, but Princess Donut, being the cat, is obviously the focal point.
It is, okay. This all comes to place. I don't know where it came from, but it was amazing. Like there are some fun team names and things, but that was just, I don't get it, but I love it.
Yeah, fun team names, including yours, which is just 2 emojis.
I didn't realize you could put them in as names, and then I found out I could, so I just made it a goose and a badger.
As you would. All right, next up we have Lewis, who won Division 3 in his first season last season, and Lewis knows how to play.
I don't know how.
He may not have played much, but he has taken to this game, and he knows tricks and layouts and all sorts of stuff that I don't even know.
Mildly concerned that Lewis is actually plugged into the Matrix, and he's just, he spent 20 seconds and I know how to play Blood Bowl, and he does. So bloody Neo over here is going to bust out some Lizardmen. They're not the most reliable of teams, but if you can get a couple of skills, they will do all the things that they need to, and it is terrifying.
Yeah. It's, again, the stock standard Lizardman team, which I'm pretty sure, and we'll find out in a minute, but all 4 of our Lizard players, myself included, took. So the Crocs, the 3 Saurus, a couple of Skinks, and then it's a matter of what skills we can get on those, which will kind of determine how well we do.
It is literally how quickly you can just get some skills on Skinks and hopefully some skills on some Saurus.
Yeah. And that is Division 2. So,
summary here, I am nervous.
You're nervous about... No, hello.
That's right. That is just the monitor telling me it's the battery's low. I am nervous, and I am looking at this, knowing that I'm already 2 games in. So I have, 1, 2, 3, 4 games to go. Mm-hmm. I'm a third of the way.
There are some strong teams. I mean, Skaven, Wood Elf, Lizardmen are all decent teams, and then add the quality of the coaches.
The only game I walk in not as an underdog, and that is against the Ogres, just on paper.
Yeah. And it depends when that game happens as to whether he's got 3 Ogres by that stage or not.
Yeah. If I can sneak around the Nurgle, sure, that's maybe a thing. I don't know if I can pile on the Wood out. Like there's ways and means for all of them. Like there are ways to play against all of them, but stuff needs to go right.
And it especially needs to go right for the Gnomes. Because things can go wrong with a stunty team quite easily.
Yeah. So I think that is an issue. In the meantime, Dylan is definitely one to watch. Liam with the Nurgle will be one to watch. Lewis and the Lizards. And then, there's some wild cards in Oz and Moose and Alice. With Corn, if she works out how to start frenzy pushing shit across the table, I got nothing.
Yeah, very, very true. And a good indication of the players in the league when Division 2 is looking that strong. Moving on now, we've got Division 3.
My future people.
First up, we've got James. Now, James is playing Lizards. Just quick click here, and what do you know? That's the same as mine. James has played Lizards before.
He's played finals losers before.
Yeah, he knows how to play them. So James did drop down last division from memory.
He was playing Amazons. He got absolutely slaughtered.
Which, that was one of those ones, things did not work out. So he's dropped down, and as such, he's playing a team he's very experienced with, and will definitely be one of those ones to watch. After that, we've got Brad. Brad is playing in his first season, playing Shambling Undead. We've got 2 whites, a mummy, and some zombies, and a skeleton at the end. I like how he's mixed it up with a skeleton on the end.
It just why not?
Yeah.
I wonder if that is how many zombies you get in the box, and he's had to chuck in a I don't know.
4, potentially.
Look, interesting. It's an interesting team when you have all of the options that you have, which way to run. I think the whites are such reliable pieces. They're not as fast, but they're going to stay on for longer. They're going to hit better. Like they're better all round pieces. And for first league, when you're going to probably get distracted by scrumming and punching shit, it's not the worst.
No, not at all. I would look at, he's only got the 3 positions. So, I mean, obviously that mummy is a fairly hefty cost. But I would definitely think about adding a ghoul in there.
Absolutely.
Once you can afford it, because the ghouls will be a really good scoring piece. And potentially, definitely the best scoring capabilities for an undead team.
And my bias against mummies is still showing. So,
all right. Next up, Archie. Archie is playing human, and Archie got destroyed last season. I think he was playing ability from memory.
He was, because he was playing his.
They're all stormtroopers.
Yeah, his stormtrooper nobility team.
Yes.
His Empire team. Yes. He's playing humans, but
yeah, I'm just looking at the team. This is a different team.
He wanted to throw teammate, and so there was lots of conversations around, hey, you just got destroyed last season, but you want to throw teammate. How can we consider all of these things? And he landed on the humans because you can then run, and I mean, he ended up taking 2 of the halflings. Not the recommendation I would have made, but here we are. If you want to be sure that you can throw something, sure, with the ogre, and then a blitzer, which is just a straight up reliable movement 7, edge 3, block, go do stuff, and then human linemen, which are exactly what human linemen are.
And again, he's got the reroll.
If they're cheap, you can afford them. I again think he will have a lot of fun. Think he will catch some people by surprise. I'm very curious to see how they land, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Next one. I'm gonna. How do you say this? Is it Taiwan?
Yes.
Yes. He is playing in his first season as well. He's playing Shambling Undead as well. And he's gone for the mummy, the white, and the ghoul. Definitely going to be an interesting one to watch. I would do the same thing. It looks like, he's got 90k in the treasury already. So that's time to pull the plug on another white, I would say.
Absolutely. And that's a pretty rock solid team. They're going to do exactly what they want. It's a relatively good team for a beginner. You've got all the starting skills you're going to want. You've got some decent reliability in that they're not all going to get taken off the pitch too quickly. And then it's just making sure you don't overextend with those pieces that have decent movement.
Yep, that's it. Exactly it. I do like the undead teams.
I like the undead team. Not that one. The other one.
The Necro.
Yeah.
I like them both. I think they're a bit of fun. All right, next up, George. George is playing Norse now. George has not had a game as yet. He's had a practice game because he got the buy in round 1. But he did have a very fun-looking game against Alice the other week.
He also refuses to take list advice when he has an idea, and I love that. Mm-hmm. I think that is the most admirable thing, that he's like, no, this is what I'm here to do, and I'm going to do it. Success be damned.
I mean, that's the best way of having fun. You've got an idea in your head. You want to do it. It's going to be fun for you. I mean, this is Blood Bowl. Results really aren't as important as they are in other games. Let's face it.
As such, Azurka, yep, good. 2 Valkyries, glorious choice. They're great players. They're one of the best players you can get. And a beer boar, because it's a pig. And how could you not take the pig? And I mean, to be fair, Oz did it, and it actually murdered some stuff and did some things.
And I saw it at work in the game against Alice, and he was doing things, and he was positioning that boar incredibly well.
I mean, it's a 2+ dodge everywhere.
Yeah.
He's doing what he wants. But yes, he's using
the
a
boar
boar
is the focus. It's the focus. It's the focus of the team. The team is called the Boars. He was chatting to me at great length about possible skill ups for the boar, but there's not an awful lot when you just get agility on a double.
I love that he's trying to find it, though. That's the best. Yep. Like, how can I make the boar more of a death machine?
Yeah. But having no hands and already having dodge, like, there's not an awful lot left.
Yes, sidestep.
Sidestep is decent, but, yeah, there's not much to go.
Diving tackle's a general, isn't it?
Yep.
Disappointing. Anyway.
From memory. All right, next up, we've got May playing Corn.
More Corn. And
more Corn
so excited about Corn.
Oh, yes. Like, the goal here, obviously, is to murder things, and to hell with results, as long as we murder stuff.
And if a team is murdered, it doesn't score. And all of a sudden, you suddenly look like you're winning.
Yes. You also have to score at the end, but...
Oh, no, but that can be an afterthought. They're dead.
Yeah.
Like, what else are you going to do? You might as well walk the ball over.
Yeah. Same thing here. Bloodspawn, 2 Seekers, Corn Gore. Very, very stock standard, reliable Corn list. Again, Frenzy for your first team can be tricksy.
Absolutely will be, but I mean also fun, because you discover the hard way when things go wrong, and that's also kind of the fun as well.
Yes.
Like, oh, now I'm rolling uphill dice. I see why this is a thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that'd be...
I would also argue, though, this division, it's not going to be one to massively frenzy trap. Like, it'll be incidentally that happens.
Yes.
So It's actually probably a good one to learn the hard way, because no one's going to know what's going on, and it's going to be new for everybody.
Well, the first game that I was sort of standing over and helping out where I needed to was May and Ryan both playing Corn. So it was a Corn off for game 1, and they were both frenzying in various different spots and having a ball of a game.
You learn really quickly how supports and assists and all that jazz work, though. Like,
that is true, and that is the trickiest part.
By the end of this, they will nail that, and then it's happy days.
Absolutely. So, having talked about him, I'll just jump down to Ryan. Ryan playing Corn as well. Bloodseeker, and Corn Gore.
There's your reliable Corn.
Yes.
And I think, to be honest, Ryan has literally just bought the box.
Yeah, which is
that's
all you need to do with Blood Bowl. That's the best part.
That is a good Corn team.
Mm.
Like, there's there's actually no bad option between the spawn 2 Seekers a Gore, 3 Seekers and a Gore, even 2 Seekers 2 Gore is a reasonable, not horrible idea. Yeah, it's all good. So, correct. Like, it's interesting when you have the corn off as the first, and you've got the spawn on one and 3 Seekers on the other. How that plays out is interesting. But it'll be fun. And again, he will have nailed assists by the end of this.
Oh, absolutely. All right, next up, Grank playing Black Orcs. Again, first season, we've got a Train Troll and 3 Black Orcs, 3 Goblins.
What else do you do? I mean, your other option is you take 4 Black Orcs and then you'd be bored because you can't throw a Goblin.
Yes. You take the Troll. The Troll's fun. And then
you have to.
You look at vomiting on people wherever you need to. Or
people vomit with the Troll far too much. But anyway, that's my personal opinion, and I will leave it at home.
It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. It's fun to vomit. There are times when you want to vomit, and there are times when you want to hit. And learning that trick is going to be the interesting one.
Yes. But the Black Orcs are, look, again, I think the other trick with this is nailing grab. And once you realize that you can start positioning some players around, they get really, really fun, and being able to control that. Particularly, I think this is the punchiest league, like odd division. This is the one that will get stuck in the middle of it in the pitch and just go to town. So I really think like grab could get good in this division. And then you've still got a couple of goblins to do goblin things. Like it's Black Orcs. They do good. They're not the top of the pile, but they are reliable and they will hit shit real nice.
And they are a great team to start the game with.
Yep.
Yeah. Orcs used to be the big one. You know, if anybody ever asked me what team should I learn with, it was always Orcs. And
then they gave everyone animosity, and now it's confusing as fuck. Whereas the Black Orcs don't have that problem. It's like there was a reason they put them in the box.
Oh, who'd have thunk it? All right, last up in Division 3, we have Anthony playing Lizards. And again, same old Lizard team. It's the way to go, obviously, because I did it.
Yeah, I mean, I would have. I mean, now I'm thinking I have to play Lizards with a different roster, which is irritating because that's exactly the roster I have painted.
So when you drop down to Division 2, it's going to be 2 Chameleon Skinks and a Crocs.
No Saurus.
No Saurus? No. Total stunty Lizards.
Yeah.
Love it. Look, this is definitely Division 3 is going to be a punch fest. We've got 2 Lizards, we've got 2 Khorne, we've got Black Orcs, we've got Norse, and 2 Shambling Undeads, with both of which have a mummy. So,
yes,
everything is going to punch everything else.
It does leave the Skinks some space to run.
It does.
It also means that, those little halflings and the goblins that can get thrown might actually have some clear space to land in. But, this is going to be an absolute massacre of a division, and I'm here for it.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be those coaches that can work players around the side.
Yep.
Of the Valkyries brawl.
The Valkyries will be great for that. I mean, if either of those undead teams pick up a ghoul, it's there on tap. But equally,
one's got the ghoul.
Like everyone on a Khorne team, almost everyone on a Khorne team, can run the ball. So there's again with a human team, they can all run. I have a feel like the Skinks are going to do wonderful things if they survive the first half.
Yeah, totally agree. So, and then just a quick point that both of our players which dropped out were both playing Chaos Chosen. So we've gone from having 2 Chaos Chosen players to none. Just thought I'd throw that out there.
Yeah.
Purely coincidental that they both playing the same team. So that's season 5 underway.
So we are a couple of, or depending on who you are,
Yes.
we're somewhere between 0 and 2 games in.
All right. That includes both of us here. So we are both between 0 and 2. I will catch up though, so
Yes.
that's fine. Yeah, I've got Josh planned for tomorrow night, and then Tuesday will be James.
Excellent.
I'm pretty sure I'm playing James. I know I've organised it, so round 2.
You are playing James.
Yeah, there we go. So yeah,
All right.
So by Tuesday I'll have caught up, and
I need a round 3 opponent before this can happen.
No, round 3 will be drawn next Tuesday after people have played.
Oh, but I want to play another game now.
I know you do, but I want to prevent people like you running so far ahead that everybody else is behind, and you've got 6 months of playing Necromunda before you play your next league game.
Well, I've discovered that that's exactly what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Or, as the case may be, I actually play almost 0 Necromunda and just have life things happen in the way. So it's actually kind of played out well for me, but I'm very keen for more.
Absolutely. All right, if you want to know a bit more, by all means, jump in our Discord. We have a lot of Blood Bowl talk going on in there, as well as a lot of others talk. There's a hell of a lot of Kill Team talk.
So much Kill Team talk.
Yeah. But there's other games sneaking up too, so there is a bit of Necromunda.
That whole
chattering
Marvel
going.
thing kind of, or not Marvel, sorry, the Star Wars thing kind of exploded.
Yep. I blew that out because we had one Star Wars channel, and then all of a sudden we were talking Shatterpoint and Unlimited and Legion in the same chat, so I had to separate them all.
Are they different games?
They are.
That
They are
explains it.
all different games. So yeah, jump in our Discord, have a chat with us if you're vaguely interested in Blood Bowl and you want to see what all the fuss is about. By all means, we will happily throw down with you and tell you why we think this is the most fun you can have. And it's one of those games that you can just play for the fun. You don't need to. Winning sort of is secondary to the game itself because it's just a crazy fun game.
And I really love that because too many times people play a game and like I'm rocking up on my free night or whatever to just roll some dice, to play some game for something that has fun, and people will come up and they'll be like, oh, how'd that game go? And so many people respond with, oh yeah, I won, they won, this was the game result.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a shit what the game, like, I mean, sure, I want to hear what happened, but I want to hear what happened. I don't actually want to hear who won. And I really love the fact that we get away from, and this is a great one, like you go, here was the score, but here's what happened.
Yes.
And that's kind of the great thing about this, because people are excited about playing the game, not just winning the game.
In the majority of Blood Bowl games, something happens that you will remember. And you go, oh my God, this mummy died in an uphill block or whatever it was. All that sort of stuff. This guy needed to dodge through 17 different tackle zones to get to the end, and he failed when he went for it to the end zone. All those sort of things that always seem to happen in Blood Bowl games. And that's the stuff you talk about. It's not like 3-0 my way. That means nothing.
But it's not important. Yes, that is the game result. No, I don't care. That is a league, and it is, as I said, it is fresh, it is new, it is exciting, and it is one of the many things going on right now.
It is. What else is going on, Jose?
Well, we are in July, and July was the second month that people had to take a thing that was not painted and paint the thing. So
That
by the
is
end
correct.
of July, they had an unpainted thing that is now painted.
Yes. And at the start of August, we will give away some prizes to people that have painted a thing.
That is all true. And look, it is the 18th at time of recording. There is still plenty of time to take a thing and paint a thing. I would know. I decided tonight. what that would be?
Well, I decided last week, and my thing is undercoated. I know exactly what I'm doing with it, but I need to sit down and actually do it. But I can do that because
You are
I have
ahead
time.
of me. That's it. We have time. I'm not nervous yet. This is fine. I've got
No.
heaps of time. So, and given it is one thing, so it is not an army of things. It is not a squad of things. It is not a display. It is one thing. Take it, paint it. Show us unpainted. Show us painted. Before, after, profit. There you go. We will gush accordingly. So that is one of the many things that is on at the moment.
That's it. Pop it in a Facebook event or in the Discord. And, simply painting something gets you into the running for random prizes that we will give because something amused us or made us giggle in some way.
This is why we do it. I want to giggle.
All right. Secondly, 26th of October.
Holy
Why So
shit.
Serious 3.
It's coming.
It is coming.
It's oh my god, and it is already bigger. I think for us at least, the logistics is already bigger.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot going on. I mean, okay. So first of all, we are doing all of the cool stuff that we did last time, but we're taking it up a notch. We have things. We sat down on Sunday night and made some plans, and plans have already gone further. And images have been shared recently, which just look incredible, as well as a very amusing story about a misunderstanding.
Miscommunication. Yeah,
Yes.
there's some good stuff, and we will invariably elaborate on these later. But the moral of the story here is there is going to be a lot of stuff for everyone who shows up. There is going to be a lot of fun times for everyone who shows up, and it is not going to be your usual Blood Bowl event. For anyone who's attended Why So Serious or anyone who's read the players back, you got an idea, but only some of the idea. We're really keen to just ramp it up another level, and equally do more silly things, but for a more serious cause. And this time we're trying to raise some money for Beyond Blue, which is a charity and a cause that I think we both and everyone we've spoken to really believes in. So it makes Why So Serious. It does give it a serious reason. None of those reasons are the Blood Bowl.
Yes. You will not be having serious games of Blood Bowl. We are almost sold on the rounds and what they're going to look like, but Beyond Blue, such an important cause. We have a link up where you can donate, but the majority of money that we raise, everything that doesn't pay for example, the hall hire and bits and pieces, everything else is going to Beyond Blue. And we're going to have raffles. We've already got stuff in our hands from sponsors. We have more stuff coming. There is, prizes to be won for silly things. We're bringing back points for. So, many different things and different ways that you can earn points towards this prize before the actual event. One of which is by getting your ticket in before the 31st of July. Or on the 31st of July, you'll get 2 points towards points haul. If you get it in by the 31st of August, you'll get 1 point. So that already puts you ahead of the people that come in late and go, oh, yeah, no, I was going to do that. Already gets you ahead. If you want to do it even more, get your mate to buy you a ticket. And buy a ticket for your mate. You buying a ticket for somebody else, even if they buy yours, means an extra point.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's ways and means, and we will continue to drop different ways that you can get more points. So watch all those, come along. And as I said, it will just be the silliest day for the best cause we can think of. And it'll be an absolute blast.
Yeah. So last Why So Serious, we gave a point away for anyone that listened to an episode where we happened to say, message us the word turkey. And that gave you an extra point. Why don't we choose one of those? Look, somebody has already messaged me the word turkey,
Well, we can't use that.
so we can't use that.
No.
I'm just looking around my desk. Let's find a word. You got any ideas?
Hang on, I'm looking for something that is appropriate on every level.
I mean, I'm seeing the models that you've printed off for me of the food types. Hot dog, sushi.
I mean, one of those absolutely works, and I feel like, given that it is also the Patreon type deal, hot dog.
Hot dog is your phrase, people. Let's make it happen. Message me with the phrase hot dog or a picture of a hot dog or
your penis between buns.
Yeah, by all means, I'll take dick pics.
I mean, that may or may not get you points, but anyway, just do that for funsies.
Yeah. I will collate them and put them all on the website. Send me through the phrase hot dog or words to that effect, and you will get an extra point. This will not be named anywhere else. You have to have listened to this episode and gotten to this point to get it. So
we look forward to receiving none of those. Yeah.
Yes. All right. Last thing I want to talk about is this is episode 99. We have been doing this for a couple of years now.
Is this where I say something political and you quit the band?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you can say something political. I'm just going to ignore you. Assassination attempts or forgeries notwithstanding. Next episode is going to be episode 100, and we want to do something big. So what we're asking is, if you're not on Discord, jump on Discord. We are going to be working out a time, and I believe the general consensus was a Thursday night is good for most people. So it'll be a Thursday night in the coming weeks, which we will do a live episode. The very first live episode, where we will be chatting and people in the Discord can make comments, ask questions, run the show, tell us what to do, anything of the above.
It's going to be absolute fucking chaos.
It's going to be messy as hell.
Stupid. It may or may not work, but we're going to try it, because why the hell would we not?
Yeah. So we've got to do something special for episode 100, and if you want to be part of that, jump in the Discord. We will be talking about that more in the coming week, and we will be giving more information, and we will be testing it to make sure it can actually be done.
I'm having random thoughts. That's right. We'll take this one offline. I have episode ideas, but continue.
Excellent. That's it from me. Anything else you want to add?
Like, subscribe, ring the bell button, follow Spotify, Twitch, Twitter, all the things. You know them. Do them.
You know the drill. As always, thank you to our Patreons, everybody that supports us. That money goes back into prizes and all sorts of things for everybody. So, and it is also helping for extra bits and pieces that we're doing for Why So Serious. So it's much appreciated. It's really, we're putting that money to good use, which you guys are definitely not for giving it to us in the first place. But we will do good stuff with that money. So thank you.
Are we still more reliable than Bitcoin? Is that?
I don't know. I don't think we're more reliable than anything, are we?
I mean, who knows? But anyway.
Anyway, thank you as always to our Thoughtless Patreons, the craziest people that we ever did meet. Alice, Archie, Clinton, Craig, Gertzy, Jared, Kingsley, and Yuri. Thank you, guys.
You guys are weird, but amazing.
Yes. Very much so. That's it from us. Laters.
Catcha.